Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Renee Box Young. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, commenting in the comment sections of the videos, tuning into the flash lives. I'm constantly doing my flash lives, out of nowhere, spontaneously. Everybody who's been supporting the channel, commenting, tuning into the premieres of the videos in real time. And just to remember, bring to your remembrance that when I wrench family up, I do it usually through premieres. So, and those who rock with me, on this channel, I've been wrenching people up. So I appreciate kings and queens, everybody who's been tuning in. I'm having a blast. I love speaking and talking about the sport of boxing, analyzing it and breaking it down. New listeners, Renee Box Young is simply a platform where we discuss, critique, analyze, and simply talk about the sport of boxing in a level-headed, coherent, mature fashion. That's what it's about here. No child's play. So if you love the sport of boxing, this is a place for you. Just go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I go live and when I do these videos, and push content, generally speaking. I want to talk about the welterweight division. Great news. I love it. I got to reiterate what I've been saying for a minute, when I go on my lives. I'm excited, man. I'm enjoying the ride. We're having good fights. We've been having good fights for a minute, and it's going to keep coming. The ball is going to keep rolling, and it's going to keep coming at us. As fight fans, as boxing fans, great matchups. And one of them is this, okay? Conor Benn, all right? Conor Benn, welterweight division, And the focal point of this video is, recent announcements of fights in the welterweight division. So we got Conor Benn versus Adrian Granados. I think on July 31st, my guy L-Dub, as always, shooting the information, man. He shot it before, sub to my guy L-Dub. Go sub to L-Dub. Constantly shooting me information. L-Dub, salute to you, my guy, for tuning in, man. Thanks so much, bro. Great supporter there. He's my plug, man. And it's great. This is great stuff. And, it came out, L-Dub sent me this info before it came out on, mainstream, whatever the heck, right? On digital platforms or whatever out there, social media, whatever. So great stuff, man. July 31st, as of, late. Conor Benn versus Adrian Granados. Now, I know people may say, well, Adrian Granados, he's a simple opponent, blah, blah, blah. But the good thing about Adrian, what I like about this matchup, first and foremost, let me speak a little bit about Conor Benn, all right? Let me speak up. I've said it several times, man. I try to focus on a variety of fighters, not just fighters from the U.S., not just fighters from Mexico, from this side of the pond, the Americas. I like to focus on all, those who are making moves. Wherever they come from, I don't care, and Conor Benn is one of them, and I like him. I like him. He has had, problems in his defense. He's one of those type of fighters that, he just goes in there and slugs it out with you, and his defense hasn't been very good at all, deficiencies, we can say. Hits hard, the problem with Conor Benn is that when he throws flurries, he gets emotional, and he leaves himself open, and he gets countered, and he can go down. He's been down, if I'm not mistaken, several times by doing that, okay? With opponents out there, generally speaking. Conor Benn, the thing here is that, when it comes to UK fighters, I guess we can say, it's customary that they fight a lot of people from the UK. You go to Conor, Benn's, his fight record and stuff like that, his resume. You got several of them from the UK. Generally speaking, fighters from the UK, they stick to that side, and I appreciate this from Conor Benn. I appreciate he fought Formella. Well, yeah, it's around the pond around there, but I think Formella is a German guy. I don't know. Samuel Vargas recently fought him. And now he's gonna fight. Adrian Granados. Adrian Granados obviously is not from the UK, so Conor Benn, he's stepping up. He's stepping up in the welterweight division, and I like it. He improved when he fought Vargas. He fought Formella. I think he fought Formella right before, if I'm not mistaken, he fought Formella before he fought Vargas. And even though Conor Benn knocked Vargas out to oh my gosh, he took him out. he took him out the first, what? I don't remember how long the round was, but I mean, it was the first round and it was over. You know what I'm saying? The fight was, but it was over quick, but I did see that little piece I saw, that short fight that he had against Vargas. Seems like he was more patient, you know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously it's not long enough to really know if he has really improved or not, but he seemed quite patient, man. Timed his punches greatly, and to the effect that it just stunned Vargas, and it was just early stoppage or whatever. It was a stoppage, okay? So I know a lot of people may say, yeah, the UK judges, they stop the fights early. I don't know, man. I just saw what I saw, and I liked it, okay? Why am I saying this? Because I see Conor Benn, he's improving. This is gonna be great because getting back to now to Adrian Granados. I mean, everybody knows the story. If you don't, Adrian Granados, man, respect to him. You know what I'm saying? Welterweight division. I mean, he's not a top-notch fighter. Okay, we got to make that clear. Okay. Drinking some coffee here. Sorry. Got to make that clear that Adrian Granados is not a top-notch fighter, but he stepped up to the plate to big names, man. Tough competition, elite fighters. For example, he's fought Robert Easter. You know what I'm saying? I think that was at 140 though. Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia knocked him to the other side of the ring. I mean, I remember that. That was a beautiful performance by Danny Garcia. But that's what I'm saying. Adrian Granados, man, he's really susceptible to getting smashed. It is what it is, man. But I'm gonna watch it. I'm definitely gonna watch this fight, and I want to see Conor Benn step up more after this. Okay, after this fight with Granados, which I think Conor Benn's gonna win. Okay, I think he will, and I'm definitely gonna watch it, Lord willing. Adrian Granados, he's susceptible to getting smashed. You know what I'm saying? And Danny Garcia, man, I remember that fight when Granados fought him. Man, I mean, Danny Garcia smashed him. He smashed him across the ring. I mean, it was a beating. You know what I'm saying? He's fought Robert Easter. He's lost to these names. That's what I'm trying to say here. Adrian Granados has stepped up to these names. He lost to them. Porter. You know what I'm saying? He fought Porter, fought Broner. He lost to all these guys. So he's not the best guy out there. Okay, that's kind of what I'm saying too. But I'm interested in seeing Conor Benn because I think he will go several rounds against Adrian Granados, which will help me see how much Conor Benn has improved. I repeat, I think Conor Benn has improved to a certain degree, based off of his performance with Samuel Vargas. So this is great, you know what I'm saying? Welterweight division, we got talent. We got talent, up-and-coming talent. It's great stuff, and we got, Virgil Ortiz. I kind of want to mix two things in here, you know what I'm saying? Virgil Ortiz is going to fight Mean Machine, or whatever, that guy, Kavaliauskas, okay? Around August, if I'm not mistaken. So it's possibly going to be an eliminator, WBO eliminator, something like that. So that means that, for the WBO, by the WBO sanctioning body. So it's possible that the winner between, it's possible, right? I mean, it's quite premature right now as far as the, those details, but it's being said that it's possible that, the winner between Virgil Ortiz and Green Machine. Everybody calls him Green Machine and whatever machine, right? That the winner of this fight will have a chance to fight Crawford. So, but you know what I'm saying? The thing here is that if I'm sorry, I keep saying the same, right? If Mean Machine beats Virgil Ortiz, nobody wants to see a rematch with Bud Crawford and Mean Machine, okay? Nobody wants to see that. Who cares? I don't care about that fight, okay? I don't want to see a rematch, So, I mean, putting that, aside, I think that Virgil Ortiz, this is a great fight. I mean, I gotta start with that. This is a great fight. Virgil Ortiz, it's a tougher competition fight for Virgil Ortiz between, Virgil Ortiz and Green Machine, Bean Machine, whatever, Kavaliauskas, all due respect there. As opposed to, Conor Benn versus Adrian Granados. I think, Virgil Ortiz and Kavaliauskas, this is a much more competitive fight. And it's going to be great. Conor Benn and Granados, it's good, man. Conor Benn's being active, and he's doing what fighters should do. Being active, climbing up the ladder, and doing it, being active. Which a lot of these fighters are not doing, really. you know, top names at least. I hope that Virgil Ortiz and Conor, you know what I'm saying, if they make it to the top or what have you, become champs, I hope they don't start, you know, just slacking off like a lot of people do, you know, like a lot of champs do. It's sad, but I hope that doesn't happen with these guys. Now, if Virgil Ortiz beats Meme Machine, this is the question. And this is the question. Is he going to fight Bud next? That's the question that lingers in my mind. I think Bud would opt for that fight because, you know, there's levels to this. I think Bud, he's more skilled than Virgil Ortiz, okay? I mean, I just want to say it like that. This is going to be a tough fight for Virgil Ortiz. Let's see how he fights. A lot of people were anticipating, you know, when Maurice Hooker, you know, was scheduled to fight, and when it was being announced for him to fight Virgil Ortiz, a lot of people were anticipating, saying, hey, this is a great step-up fight. And that was along the lines, you know, time frame of Ennis fight in Lipetsk. Great step-up fights, you know what I'm saying, for these guys. And a lot of people were anticipating, you know, Virgil Ortiz, seeing how he would perform against Hooker. You know, obviously, if I'm not mistaken, Hooker moved up from 140 to fight, you know, Virgil Ortiz, whatever. But Hooker, you know, he's a game opponent. And what I took from it, I think I made a post-fight, you know, reaction thing, you know, days later, whatever. I went flash live and talked about it. Virgil Ortiz, man, he really needs to work on his defense. You know, at this level, okay, yeah, at this level, you're going to fight Mean Machine. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, remember, kings and queens, Mean Machine punches hard, man. This guy is a tough, hard hitter. You know what I'm saying? He's a hard hitter. Virgil Ortiz has to be very careful. You know, Robert Garcia and his stable, I have heard, you know, it's been said around there that, you know, Robert Garcia is not the type of coach to really train to, you know, focus much on defense. You know, that's just his way of teaching and coaching, whatever. I think Virgil Ortiz definitely has to work on his defense, man, generally speaking. Whether it be Robert Garcia being the, you know, the root of the problem or the issue, or, you know, his way of training. But Virgil Ortiz definitely has to work on defense, especially when you move up to the upper echelon welterweight, you know, status. Mean Machine hits hard, man. So I mean, Virgil Ortiz, that's like the alert signs that I saw when this fight was, you know, coming out there, being announced. You know, that Kavaliauskas would, you know, is going to fight Virgil Ortiz around August, something like that. It's like, man, the first thing that was in my mind, I was like, Kavaliauskas is a hard hitter. Hats off to Ortiz for taking this fight, man. That's what fighters should do. That's what fighters should do. Step up to the plate, to the competition, to real competition. And hey, this is not for a belt. I can care less if that WBO is an interim. I don't know if it's a belt. Who cares? I can care less about that. But this is a competitive fight, man. You know. So hats off to Virgil Ortiz, man. You see how I said that sometimes fights that are not championship bouts, even though some people may call, you know, the sanctioning bodies may call interim champ a champ, you know, yeah, whatever. But, you know, some some fights that are not championship fights, those are real bouts, man. Those are real competitive fights. Virgil Ortiz versus Kavaliauskas is definitely a competitive fight. The welterweight division is continuing to brew. We just heard the other day it's possible. Obviously, we're not sure it's official though, right? But you know, Keith Thurman versus Porter rematch. The welterweight division is looking nice, man, and it's been looking nice for a minute. You know, obviously everybody knows the story, Bud, Spence, Bud. Everyone wants to see that, but I don't think it's gonna happen soon. Who knows? You know, right now Spence is focusing on Pac, and that's another great fight. You see how, you know, there's great fights in the welterweight division. You know what I mean? Great fights. So the question is, going back to that, will Virgil Ortiz, will he fight Bud Crawford if he beats, and this is a big if he beats Kavaliauskas? If he doesn't work on his defense, man, I think Kavaliauskas can really knock Virgil Ortiz clean, man. He can knock him. He can knock him out, man. He can knock him out. So Virgil Ortiz got to be careful, very careful. If Virgil Ortiz doesn't work on the defense and doesn't improve on the defense in this Kavaliauskas fight, I'm not so sure, man. I mean, that's where I'm talking about levels. Will he fight Bud after that if he wins? I'm assuming that Bud would opt, I repeat it, as I said a moment ago, Bud would opt to fight Virgil Ortiz because he's less risk. Because Bud is levels above Ortiz, in my humble opinion. When it comes to the welterweight division, I think that, Ennis has a much bigger opportunity in beating and chance of beating Bud Crawford as opposed to Virgil Ortiz. That's just my humble opinion. Because of the styles, because of the skills, because of the IQ in the ring, that we have been seeing from both fighters. Virgil Ortiz, he was really getting clocked a lot, being left wide open so many times against Hooker. Hooker was putting up a great fight. Hey, we got to really definitely recognize Hooker. He put up a great fight, man. Good fight, great heart. I mean, I love it. So, will Bud, will Bud fight Virgil Ortiz after seeing him if he beats Kavaliauskas? I think he will. However, as everybody knows, it's really hard to say what Bud's gonna do. And one of the main reasons why I see Bud is quite unpredictable, one is because he's an introvert, People who are introverted and don't really speak to people, don't really speak much, and they're just really reserved, they're quite unpredictable, as opposed to extroverted people, and also, I've talked about it many times, years ago, I got a video, link in the description, and blah, 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 my stamps, receipts, whatever you want to call it, proof is there on my channel. You can't go around it, and that's why I see, that's the reason why I want to say this is because, Bud, he's in the welterweight division, and it's hard to see what he's gonna do next. It's hard, but I think he would opt for Virgil Ortiz. Now, one of the reasons why I think it's hard to predict what Bud will do next is because, years ago he talked about moving up to 160. He talked about that, and that it was mentioned that, he talked about he wasn't getting credit at that time. I mean, he's been saying it for a minute. He knows it. He feels it, and that's why I said, I'm going to move up. I'm going to move up to 154 or even 160 maybe, or something like that, something along those lines. Canelo was mentioned. He's like, hey, if I got to do that, well, So, and recently he talked about moving up to 154 also. Sometime before that, if I'm not mistaken, he talked about moving down to 140. Recently, as a matter of fact, talked about going down to 140, and before that, talked about going down to 135 even. Just kind of all over the place. It's hard to see it's hard to predict what Bud is going to do next. Really hard. But I think that, I think that he would opt for Virgil Ortiz if Virgil Ortiz were to beat Kavaliauskas. And I think Bud would beat Virgil Ortiz because of the risk factor. Bud would choose him because of the risk factor. It's a pattern. You guys all know it. And this is not to knock Bud. It's just I see what my eyeballs see, and it is what it is. All these welterweights, the majority of them, debatably, Horn, no, I don't know, but I think yes. All these welterweights that Bud has fought, they're low risk opponents. They're low risk opponents, man. So according to his level, I'm put it that way. According to Bud Crawford's level, they're low risk welterweights because Bud is really talented and skilled. So this is why I think that it would probably repeat itself, the cycle that he has been doing for years in the welterweight division. He would most likely opt for Virgil Ortiz. Now Conor Ben, I repeat, I appreciate what he's doing, man. He just fought Vargas, beat him, smashed him. Now he's gonna fight Granados. Yeah, Granados, more seasoned. I guess when it comes to fighters, more experience, I guess we can say. When it comes to top names he has fought, so I'm interested in seeing how Conor will perform against Granados. After the Granados fight, if Conor Ben wins, it's just gonna make the welterweight division even more interesting. It's gonna definitely make Now, I didn't like when I didn't really approve of Conor Ben calling out Adrian Broner. I think he's doing it just for the clout and for the money, marketing, blah blah blah, whatever the heck, right? The post-fight press conference after he beat Vargas, he was asked, who do you want to fight next, blah blah blah, and I think he mentioned Adrian Broner and amongst other names out there, but he didn't mention Spence, he didn't mention Ennis, if I'm not mistaken. There are some names he kind of didn't mention. He mentioned Khan. What the heck are you talking about Khan for, man? I think he mentioned Khan. He just wants money, the big money. But I hope Conor Ben doesn't fall into, blabbing away and not stepping up to the plate and fighting the top at, in the welterweight division as he climbs up the ladder. That's what I want to say that too. I want to say that concerning Conor Ben. After, if he beats Granados, it's time to step it up, Conor Ben. It's time to step it up. So the welterweight division, ladies and gentlemen, it's great, you know, and this is interesting stuff. This news that's coming out, you know what I'm saying? Vergil Ortiz is going to fight soon. Conor Ben's going to fight soon again. You know, I like it. I love it. You know, Spence, Pac-Man. We'll see what happens after Spence and Pac-Man fight. I think Spence is going to win. You know, it's going to be a great fight. I think Spence after Pac-Man, who knows if he's going to move up to 154. From what I understand, Spence said that he's going to go after Bud, man. So, Bud, another thing that makes me think that Bud is real quiet right now, by the time I post this video, there's probably going to be an official announcement of Bud's next opponent. Who the heck knows? You know, Josh Taylor just got undisputed at 140, probably going to go up to 147 and fight Bud too. So that's another factor that we got to consider, you know what I'm saying? So, but, you know what I mean? It's really hard to say right now what's going to happen. Spence is going to go for Bud, apparently, according to Spence, after Pac-Man. I think Spence is going to win, I repeat. And I think that, just to conclude this aspect concerning the welterweight division with Bud Crawford, I think that Bud is waiting for Spence to get all the belts, man. You know, except the WBO, which Bud has. I kind of think that Bud is just waiting, man. He's just taking these easy opponents, you know, under par opponents according to his skill level and status, and waiting for Spence to collect the belts so that he can step up and finally fight Spence for undisputed. I mean, that's what I kind of think Bud's doing, man. I just kind of think it. Obviously, he's not going to say it. Actions speak louder than words. I've said it so many times. You know, we got to understand that. Actions speak louder than words. Obviously, Bud also has expressed he wanted to fight Spence, and then he wanted to fight Pac, and then all of a sudden he turned around and said, no, I don't want to fight Spence. I don't want to talk about him anymore. You know, don't talk about me. Don't talk about that me and him, because it's over with. So it's kind of hard to, that's another factor that makes me, you know, hard to predict what the heck Bud's going to do. That's another thing, that's another point I consider. I think he's just waiting for Spence to collect the belts, man. So that Spence can get all those belts, do the hard work, you know what I'm saying? Take out these top champs or whatever, you know, these top fighters. And Bud can conveniently come in, conveniently step up and say, okay, I'll fight you now. That's another thing that makes me think that that's what he's doing, you know what I'm saying? But who knows? Only God knows this guy's mind, you know, as with everybody else. So the welterweight division looks great, man. So I'm having fun. I'm enjoying it. Can't wait for these fights, you know, with Conor Ben, Vergil Ortiz. Respect to these guys, you know, in the welterweight division. Jerome Ennis, we'll see. Hey, as a matter of fact, excuse me, Jerome Ennis, if I'm not mistaken, posted on social media, man, he's going to fight soon again. I mean, Jerome Ennis, ladies and gentlemen, is a problem. He's a problem in the welterweight division. Jerome Ennis, man, I saw a tweet the other day. I was going to make a video on it, but I was just waiting for the right time. You know what I'm saying? I got to mention right now that, if I'm not mistaken, I saw the other day on a Twitter post, whatever, right, from his official profile. You can go check it out on Twitter with Jerome Ennis. If I remember correctly, he talked about, you know, fight date coming soon. Oh my gosh, man, this guy. I don't think these guys want to fight him, man. I mean, I don't think Bud wants to fight Ennis. I doubt it, you know. And some other welterweights out there, I don't think they want to fight him, man. I mean, this guy's a problem. So I love it, man. Ennis is up in the mix too. I mean, this is some great stuff, ladies and gentlemen. So let's just enjoy the ride. You know what I'm saying? And let's keep enjoying the sport of boxing. Let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy what we're seeing, because there are some great matchups that are definitely worthy of talking about, like I've been saying. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, there's a lot of buffoonery in the sport of boxing, but at the same time, there's a lot of great stuff going on in the sport of boxing. So I love it, man. I love it. Renee Boxing, thanks so much for liking, subscribing. Thanks so much for tuning in, you know, to the premieres of the videos just like this. Go ahead and hit the notification bell, you know, so you know when I do these premieres, so you know when I do my flash lives. We're having so much fun. I'm just, you know, the community's supporting so much. Community's jumping in. We're constantly getting new subscribers. Rome wasn't built in a day. It takes time. It's all good. I'm patient. I'm patient like that. Sometimes the best things are done in patience, you know what I'm saying? So thank you guys so much for rocking with me, man. Go ahead and, you know, share this, share the videos, share the lives, you know, on your social media platforms and things of that nature. Thank you guys so much, man. Renee Box Young. Stay safe. Peace out, fam.